Well, good morning, folks. We survived, didn't we? We were John C. Roseman, California. Some people in this town of Roseman, California would call me the libtard or libtard. Anyway, it's another hot one for a July 5th. Yeah, it's coming close on 10 o'clock in the morning, according to a clock I'm seeing right now. I didn't get much sleep because of all the celebrations, all the partygoers were trying to do as they were basically destroying everyone else's good sleep and nerves, increasing PTSD and anxiety levels in both human and animal kind. There's a question out there. I thought I answered it, but probably not. So it looks like I'm going to have to answer it again, probably in a different way. We can either do textbook answer or we can do personal answer of what the country means to you. What does the United States means to you? How many times do we have to go through this and answer the question up to someone else's expectations and they think we're liberal or we're dumber than dog shit? I mean, that's what's being posted right now, isn't it? How much knowledge do we have concerning about our history? And they happen to pick a few people and then they have to judge the rest of the humanity on it? This one so-called author, which is being now used as a I told you so against the liberals in the town of Roseman. Wow, really must be hitting, actually, it's not hitting below the belt, he's just hitting at toes right now. Trying to make a point that liberals don't know anything. No. We may know a lot more than what he knows. And you know what? America means a hell of a lot to different people, left and right. If we're looking for facts and figures and answers by rote, I'm sorry. I am not going to please anybody about that one. Yesterday I was in a historical and emotional funk because of more information that came out regarding the America I'm used to know. And this current America that is still being presented to people under an administration, it's supposed to be a united front. We're supposed to be all Americans, and yet why are we still protesting and why are we still going against each other? And it's extreme versus extreme at this point over here. I mean, we're no longer America. We're no longer America. We used to be called a great American melting pot. We used to be called like a bowl of stew. Well, we're no longer that anymore. We're no longer that. Do we understand what America is supposed to be for each other? We're looking for canned, pat answers. We're looking for a same uniformity here. We're looking for a robotic answer where everyone else is mechanically and physically the same thing here. I mean, is this what we're looking for? Boy. Asimov and Bradbury would have you guys for breakfast. America, if we're going to be doing a movie quote, is advanced citizenship. You got to want it real bad. To quote or paraphrase the American president, Malcolm King. Played a pretty good part of it, too. This one liberal will recommend it to those conservatives. I'll probably scare the living crap out of them because it's also a romance. But it does cover things concerning about politics. And if there's another series that wants to scare the living crap out of you concerning about politics, Adam Sorkin created this TV series that lasted 8 seasons. called The West Wing. And yes, they were liberals. Martin Sheen is a hell of an actor. I love his acting a great deal. His sons are interesting actors too. And to understand America is to understand different facets and not just a TV series and a movie. You're going to have to ask everybody individually what they think about America is. If you keep seeing me leaning down this way, because I have a shell-shocked puppy who both survived the onslaught last night in the bathroom. We both did. If you don't mind, I'm going to take her out, and then we'll be back to discover what America is theoretically supposed to be. And realistically, it's a different story altogether. When the duties of a dog owner is done, let us proceed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to answer the question concerning about what is America, what do we think about America, how did America get started? Well, which particular viewpoint did you want in the first place? Did you want the Europeans? Or did you want the Native Americans version? Native Americans, you see the white people coming over, and basically we contaminated them with bacterial counts. We gave them smallpox, which almost decimated a hell of a lot of tribes left and right. We saw the yellow rocks and fell in love with them, and we wanted more. We saw a way to convert these people into believing that Catholicism is the only way to God, and their heathen ways will not be allowed. Therefore, we had done a very destructive path into enlightenment. Besides destroying cultures, raping and pillaging and plundering the land, we gave them death and diseases and slavery. What else is new? Say hello to European colonization. Now, that being said, we're going to be talking about England now. I mean, we talked about Portugal, we've talked about Spain, and we've also talked about France, and then we talked about England. And by the time we get our colonists set up from our various major powers of England into the new land, and establishing colonies that either succeeded or failed, for those Native Americans in the land of Nod, some of them actually like to befriend the European settlers because we brought many interesting things with us that they never have or never thought of. And that was their greatest mistake right there. They should have been gathering to fight every European settler, but they didn't. Some actually felt sorry for us and helped out a colony or two to survive. One colony actually disappeared. Anybody remember the Roanoke colony? No? It disappeared. Completely without a trace, and nobody at this day can figure it out. Why? We've had border wars. We had skirmishes going on between France and the Native Americans, between the Native Americans and Spanish, between the Native Americans and English. We've also had England versus France and Spain, all trying to keep what they conquered, if we want to look at it that way. Some of us actually had a few altruistic ideas for our own escape in our own colonies of just leaving the Native Americans alone and just form our own little colony. Well, it's like thinking of an apartment complex. Just how many rooms are you planning to invade that's already inhabited as it is? So, we invaded everyone else's apartment complex. The European settlers are going to be taking away their Cheetos and sleeping on their couches. Screw the story of Goldilocks into three bears. No, we turned the three bears into Redskins at this point over here and traded them in. The bears got eaten. Bears got turned into fat and grease. And we used the inhabitants in the apartment complex as collateral or slavery or anything else we wanted. Why? Because we had that European dominance attitude going on. Some of the settlers actually wanted to have a life away from Europe, from its dominance, and was willing enough to, if they would ask permission, to share the land that the Native Americans had lived on. Now, the thing of it is, us European settlers, well, we like things legally done, and other things not so legally done. We want to make laws and rules and regulations for people to follow. We want things our way. This is now our sandbox. I don't care how long you've been playing in that sandbox. This is our sandbox now. We own every particle of sand now. We own the scoop that you're playing with. We own the bucket that you have. It don't matter if you got the thing inherited from your families. You know what? We don't care. We're taking it because we can. Oh, by the way, let us cough on you and give you our disease here, okay? It's basically, if you want to boil it down, what was America during that time. But we didn't have America at the time. We had people fighting over the new land like crazy. European settlers trying to get it from the Native Americans. And the Native Americans didn't own the land. They traveled from one place to another place to another place, and some just stayed in areas that they felt comfortable at, and it was good and plenty. They had trade. They had industry of sorts. They had a thriving culture. But if one actually studied history from different points of view, we European generations here are nothing but manifest destiny, slavers, and thieves, and liars, and cheats. Welcome to America. Because now we're seeing the same attitude all over the place. In this current day and age, we're seeing slavers. We're seeing a COVID virus that came over and started knocking out people left and right, including Native Americans. Oh my God, there they go. We're bitching and griping about wearing little masks on our face to protect us and to protect our neighbors, not to mention our relatives. We're listening to politicians who think they know better, and they're godly. They're with God. And by God's right, we will rule the world. We've had despots like that for decades and generations to come. We've had them in our lifetimes. We've had them in generations previous past. Everybody he keeps popping up manifests destiny in one form or another. This is what America is. We had European immigrants. We have immigrants from different countries coming over in the past 2 centuries, trying to escape their own lives, trying to find a better life. Some actually found slavery. And I'm not talking about the slavery of chains. We're talking about the slavery of economics and of racism. Is it fun being an American? Being a liar, cheat, and a con man? And a thief? A pirate? Our legacy. But we're supposed to be landing it free and home and a brave for those who can actually afford it. Class warfare, don't you understand that? We also have class warfare. See, only a liberal and a libtard can actually think of stuff like this. Conservatives don't even think about this way because... Can we start doing the politic blaming here? I mean, can we start blaming each other's side? red versus blue. Each side is guilty. Each side is bad side. Each side is good side. Therefore, we're all good people. Ha 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 ha. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We're all bad. We're all guilty. America is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. We're supposed to be the greatest country on earth. Nope, we're not. No country is. Each country has its own dark history. As far as I'm concerned, we human beings have a way of screwing each other up left and right. And if you look at history that way, well, that's the human race for you. When we start expanding our empire, when we start developing ships in centuries to come, where if we live long enough, if we have the technology back then, we will be conquering the stars as an empire. We will have corporations, and we will have governments so damn small, it's not even funny. Unless we got ourselves into one conglomerate, and then we take the stars. We are an expanding empire of manifest destiny. I think that would be the answer to America. It's manifest destiny. It's against the communist Red Scare. It's against lives that matter of different sorts. It's about division and derision. It wasn't about the melting pot. It was about the fool's gold that fooled us all. It's about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. It's about older generations and previous generations escaping lives that come back to haunt them in generations to come. It's about politicians raping, pillaging, and plundering everything. Corporations and special interest groups. Meanwhile, the people are being affected left and right. Oh yeah, we're talking about class warfare at this point. Am I talking socialism, communism? No, I'm talking reality at this point over here. Check the history books. Oh, I'm sorry, you've got rose-colored glasses on you right now. That's why I'm disillusioned concerning about our 4th of July celebrations. We're celebrating us to be manifest destiny incarnate. I'm still expecting our country to be a nuclear cinder because of the mistakes we've been making and all the lovely friends out there with the nuclear trigger buttons. Our so-called allies would allow us to rot away in a nuclear firestorm. Gee, I hope they do. It teaches a lesson. It teach our ghosts a lesson at this point over here. Because, yeah, I also blame the ghosts that continue and beat up on people left and right. You see, some of us thought we had altruistic ideas about the country. If we wanted something better for our generations, we should have installed laws and rules and regulations for that for everybody, but we didn't. When we started the country out, we had an improper and incomplete constitution that was hodgepodge at best. We added a process called the amendment process in there to make sure that our country was running. We fought against each other in the states trying to get a federal government going because every state was for itself right after we split off from England. England wanted us for a cash cow. England wanted money out of us to fill its own coffers because of what had been happening back in the past. England versus Spain versus France versus. Does anybody get the pattern here? England wanted money out of us. And they succeeded to a point when we got pissed off about it. We thought we had money to spare. No, we didn't. We were broker than hell. We're borrowing money from everybody else. We were getting money from Peter, Paul, and John. So the other guy, whoever he may be, gets stuck with a bill and trying to pay off everybody else's debt with lint in his pocket. We got tired of being pushed around. The English colonies rebelled. We still had Spain to deal with. We still had France to deal with. Oh yeah, France had a little problem concerning about its own. You see, they'll help us if we help it with this revolution. And we basically flipped them the bird. How's that American for you? And then they had to deal with Napoleon Bonaparte trying to conquer Europe. He almost did that very well, too. Gained a Russian, screwed himself over that way. Gotta love Bonaparte for that one. In England, it was at war with Bonnie. Couldn't have enough money in the pockets to fight the bastard. Not to mention the royalty kept coming over to England to hide out. They couldn't come over to the new colonies now, could they? No, they couldn't. No, they could not. But England got pissed off at us back around 1812, decided to do a second round on us. That didn't work out too well, did it? We had to enter into treaties with Spain and France to gain more territory. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we mess up on the Native Americans at the point of this over here? I mean, they were here first. No, I'm sorry, they don't bother. They don't rate. Manifest destiny and everything else. We must conquer the West. We must conquer the lands because that is our destiny. And conquered we did. Oh, by the way, we'll put you inhabitants, the previous owners of this land, into camps at this point. And we'll say it's for a young kid. Sounds like ICE agents and the Border Patrol. Are we seeing any similarities going on at this point over here? Or are we too stupid and too blind for this? You want to talk about what America means? Slavery, indentured service, pain, starvation, class warfare. Hell, we might as well call it a race warfare at this point over here. We don't know what America means anymore. Everything's so jumbled and convoluted. It's the have versus the have-nots. The elites versus either at the top of the pyramid or you're the legs supporting the damn pyramid. But by the way, just to keep your legs happy at this point over here will cause so much pain and misery for you. Have a nice disease or two. It'll just keep you guys going. And remember Charles Darwin at this point over here. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. No, what doesn't kill you will kill the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, and all the weakening supports of the foundation are cracking like crazy. Well, I'm sorry, we didn't think about that one, did we? And you have a beef and you have a problem. Why I don't like America at this point over here, and I'm a native? I'm a native in a place called California. California used to have, 50 plus, maybe more of tribes. Take a look at the history books. I may be off a few. But we did have some major and minor tribes living both in Northern and Southern California, and Central California, and everywhere else in California. They made the habitable places their homes. Sorry, but us European settlers had to come in here and start screwing things up. We had to take more control out of you. We had to brainwash you guys into thinking that our version of God is better than Yahweh. The great spirit in the sky is now called God. You will worship God our way or otherwise. Welcome to America 101. And you call me libtard and libturd. I'll take that as a compliment at this point over here. At least I know my ancestors were also horse thieves, liars, cheats, and conmen. Some of my ancestors came over to this country to try to escape what was in Europe that was still sprouting off in America. At least we didn't have royalty trying to rule things, but we did have royalty. You had money, you're a royal. You're a robber baron. Owner of property, owner of businesses. Rape, pillage, and burn, and plunder the lands and people. That is America's legacy. Now, America's future is a similar situation here. Because we're still in the same damn situation, and we always have been. Will we always will be? Will we be this America great under whose vision? We still have to reconcile the damn past and understand where the hell we're coming from. That was precisely the reason why I had those other videos made on YouTube in the first place. To describe and talk about what's going on. But, you know what? Nobody cares. They only care about their own damn viewpoints. And this is America. Now. Current. Land of the free and home of the brave no longer exists. Land of mine. That's my sandbox. I want it back. I don't care if you're the long-term resident over here. I don't care how many generations you've got living in this place. I don't care if you were here since the dawn of time. That's mine now. Manifest destiny. MAGA. Make America great again. Meanwhile, that's my place. Oh, you're a different color, different creed, different religion. I don't give a shit. I'll hate you too. I'll cause so much division and derision in your place. That'll make America great again, wouldn't it? History lesson over.